So this is A Course in Miracles we're going to read and spend some time in this chapter.
Here we are, Vera and we are new friends studying with Jesus. And I find it so exciting to be able to share this amazing information with another person. And I know that God is with us. And happy that we are sharing and happy to share this information. So would you start to read, Vera?
Yeah, we're on page 509 of the Course in Miracles in the text. And it's called The Christ in You.
Wow. I love that.
So we can read a chapter at a time. And it's, the Christ in you is very still. He looks on what he loves and knows it as himself. And thus does he rejoice at what he sees, because he knows that it is one with him and with his Father. Specialness, too, takes joy in what it sees, although it is not true. Yet what you seek for is a source of joy as you conceive it. What you wish is true for you. Nor is it possible that you can wish for something and lack faith that it is so. Wishing makes real, and surely as does will create. The power of a wish upholds illusions as strongly as does love extend itself, except that one deludes and the other heals.
So isn't that interesting? So love heals.
Yeah.
And anything that's not love is not healing. And a judgment about ourselves because we're all one.
Yeah.
How exciting is that? There is no dream of specialness, however hidden or disguised the form, however lovely it may seem to be, however much it delicately offers the hope of peace and escape from pain, in which you suffer not your condemnation. In dreams, effect and cause are interchanged. For here the maker of the dream believes that what she made is happening to her. She does not realize she picked a thread from here and a scrap from there and wove a picture out of nothing. For the parts do not belong together. The whole contributes nothing to the parts to give them meaning.
So somehow we are the maker of the dream.
Totally.
And whatever we believe is happening to us.
Yes. That's kind of scary, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how powerful, I guess, is the dream maker.
So you and I are dream makers and we get arrested.
Right.
Because we're standing for truth.
And we're dreaming right now, seeing each other as separate, but there's only one here.
Okay, but I think that the one that is you, I admire because you're so active and doing so many amazing things. I mean, you represent a very healthy child of God to me. You're doing and meeting so many people and reaching out to the family of God in a big way. This is really what God wants us to do, and you're doing it.
Well, we're both doing it, right? We're both here. There's only one here. So that's the only one this is doing this, and this is happening.
All right.
So chapter 3. Where could your peace arise but from forgiveness? The Christ in you looks only on the truth and sees no condemnation that could need forgiveness. So the Christ in us sees no condemnation.
Right.
He is at peace because he sees no sin. Identify with him and what he has that you have not. He is your eyes, your ears, your hands, your feet. How gentle are the sights he sees, the sounds he hears. How beautiful his hand that holds his brothers, and how lovingly he walks beside him, showing him what can be seen and heard, and where he will see nothing and there is no sound to hear.
Yet, let your specialness direct his way, and you will follow, and both will walk in danger, each intent in the dark forest of the sightless, unlit by the shifting tiny gleams that spark an instant from the fireflies of sin, and then go out and lead to others to the nameless prefaces and haul him over it. For what can the special delight in but to kill? What does it seek for but the sight of death? Where does it lead but to destruction? Yet think not that it looked upon your brother first, nor hated him before it hated you. The sin its eyes behold in him, and love to look upon, it saw in you. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was.
Number 8 in chapter 4. Chapter 4,
Okay.
line 8.
Line 8. Okay. Yet, is it joy to look upon decay and madness, believing this crumbling thing with flesh already loosened from the bone, and sightless holes for eyes, is like yourself?
Rejoice that you have no eyes with which to see, no ears to listen, and no hands to hold, nor feet to guide. Be glad that only Christ can lend you his, while you have need of them. They are illusions too, as much as yours. And yet because they serve a different purpose, the strength their purpose holds is given them. And what they see and hear and hold and lead is given light, that you may lead as you were led.
The Christ in you is very still. He knows where you're going, and he leads you there in gentleness and blessing all the way. His love for God replaces all the fear you thought you saw within yourself. His holiness shows you himself in him, whose hand you hold, and whom you lead to him. And what you see is like yourself. For what but Christ is there to see and hear and love and follow home? He looked upon you first, but recognized that you were not complete, and so he sought for your completion in each living thing that he beholds and loves, and seeks it still, that each might offer you the love of God.
Yet he is quiet, for he knows that love is in you now, and safely held in you by that same hand that holds your brothers in your own. Christ's hand holds all his brothers in himself. He gives them vision for their sightless eyes, and sings to them of heaven, that their ears may hear no more the sound of battle and of death. He reaches through them, holding out his hand, that everyone may bless all living things and see their holiness. So bless all living things and see their holiness. And he rejoices that these sights are yours to look upon with him and share his joy. His perfect lack of specialness he offers you, that you may save all living things from death, receiving from each one the gift of life that your forgiveness offers to yourself. The sight of Christ is all there is to see. The song of Christ is all there is to hear. The hand of Christ is all there is to hold. There is no journey but to walk with him.
You who would be content with specialness and seek salvation in war with love, consider this. The Holy Lord of heaven has himself come down to you to offer you your own completion. What is his is yours, because in your completion is his own. He who willed not to be without his son or daughter could never will that you be brotherless or sisterless. And would he give a sister unto you, except that she be as perfect as herself, as yourself, and just as like to him in holiness as you must be?
There must be doubt before there can be conflict. And every doubt must be about yourself. Christ has no doubt, and from his certainty his quiet comes. He will exchange his certainty for all your doubts, if you agree that he is one with you, and that this oneness is endless, timeless, and within your grasp, because your hands are his. He is within you, yet he walks beside you and before, leading the way that he must go to find himself complete. His quietness becomes your certainty. And where is doubt when certainty has come?
Can we see it and hear it?
I guess we could. Let's see how that works out. We have to play it. So, what is it? Salvation from fear. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. My turn or yours?
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, before your brother's holiness, the world is still, and peace descends on it in gentleness and blessings, so complete that not one trace of conflict still remains to haunt you in the darkness of the night. He is your savior from dreams of fear. He is the healing of your sense of sacrifice and fear that what you have will scatter with the wind and turn to dust. In him is your assurance God is there and with you now. While he is what he is, you can be sure God is knowable and will be known to you, for he could never leave his own creation. The sign that this is so lies in your brother, offered you that all your doubts about yourself may disappear before his holiness. See in him God's creation, for in him his Father waits for your acknowledgement that he created you as part of him.
Without you, there would be a lack in God, a heaven incomplete, a son without a father. There could be no universe and no reality. For what God wills is whole and part of him, because his will is one. Nothing alive that is not part of him, and nothing is but is alive in him. So I guess nothing alive that is not part of him, and nothing is but is alive in him. Your brother's holiness shows you that God is one with him and you, that what he has is yours because you are not separate from him nor from his Father.
Nothing is lost to you in all the universe. Nothing that God created he failed to lay before you lovingly as yours forever. And no thought within his mind is absent from your own. It is his will you share his love for you, and look upon yourself as knowingly as he conceived of you.
Look upon yourself as lovingly.
As he conceived of you before the world began, and as he knows you still. God changes not his mind about his daughter or son with passing circumstances which have no meaning. in eternity where he abides, and you with him. Your brother and sister is as he created them. And it is this that saves you from the world that he created not.
Forget not that the healing of God's Son is all the world is for. The healing of God's Son is all the world is for. That is the only purpose the Holy Spirit sees in it, and thus the only one it has. Until you see the healing of the Son as all you wish to be accomplished by the world, by time and all appearances, you will not know the Father nor yourself. For you will use the world for what is not its purpose, and will not escape its laws of violence and death. And there is so much of that, right? In the world, in the illusion, violence and death. Yet it is given you to be beyond its laws in all respects, in every way, in every circumstance, in all temptation to perceive what is not there, and all belief God's Son can suffer pain because he sees himself as he is not.
Look upon your brother, and behold in him the whole reversal of the laws that seem to rule this world. See in his freedom yours, for such it is. Let not his specialness obscure the truth in him, for not one law of death you bind him to will you escape, and not one sin you see in him but keeps you both in hell. Yet will his perfect sinlessness release you both, for holiness is quite impartial, with one judgment made for all it looks upon. And that is made not of itself, but through the voice that speaks for God in everything that lives and shares his being.
So if we see sinlessness, perfect sinlessness, and holiness.
And if we don't, we just ask to see it differently. We keep asking, let me see this only through the eyes of Christ. I told you I live with this friend who, sort of like your son, was extremely attacking.
Yeah.
But we were reading this together, so regardless of what was being said or whatever, I would just keep asking to see through the eyes of forgiveness, because I knew it was another lesson. Just another lesson.
To be able to see holiness
and look beyond the attack.
Beyond whatever we think we're seeing.
Yes.
Because see the holiness and the perfection and the sinlessness.
Exactly. And the great thing for me was that this person came to visit me before he left town and spent a day or so, and we had not one attack. I felt like I died and went to heaven because I have been practicing and so wanting to see the holiness of this person. Because I knew that it was there. I mean, he had told me of his spiritual experiences and so forth. But yet, still, sort of like your son, he had these terrible moments of severe anxiety and ugliness that he would project.
And fear.
And project it, and in front of people. It was embarrassing. But I knew that I was being tested. Am I going to
see the holiness,
separate from this person on purpose, or see the God, to go beyond? So my last encounter was such a holy encounter. It made me so happy.
So the holy instant can happen at any moment.
Exactly.
As soon as we see beyond the facade,
beyond
the illusion that we see, which looks like conflict and fear. And then to see the holiness
beyond it.
And the sinlessness.
And that we are here to heal that person by overlooking their attack. like it doesn't even exist.
So are we healing them by doing that? By seeing
Yes.
them as holy?
Oh, no doubt. Of course.
Is that what it says? So you see the
Yeah.
healing of the sun. I don't know if it says we're doing the healing. Does it say we're doing
Well,
it?
as we, here. All right, read 6.
It is his sinlessness that eyes that see can look upon. So I look and see the sinlessness
Right.
instead of the illusion of
The
sin.
attack.
It is his loveliness they see in everything. So then see the loveliness.
Mm-hmm.
And it is he they look for everywhere and find no sight nor place nor time where he is not. Within your brother's holiness, the perfect frame for your salvation and the world's. So by seeing his holiness,
Yeah.
we are all saved.
Like, before I would go to see Tony, I would ask God, help me to see only the good.
Only the good, only the holy, perfect.
And, you know, if something else occurred, that I would be able to overlook and just bless, you know, my mind, I would always say, bless them, Father, for they know not what they do. And that heals you and them. That's here in this book. By blessing the attacker in your mind.
Let's see, within your brother's holiness, the perfect frame for your salvation and the world's is set the shining memory of him in whom your brother lives and you along with him. Let not your eyes be blinded by the veil of specialness that hides the face of Christ from him, and you as well. And let the fear of God no longer hold the vision you were meant to see from you. Your brother's body shows not Christ to you. He is set forth within his holiness.
Right.
So his body is not showing me Christ.
Right. Nor his actions.
Nor his actions. It is Christ is within him. The holiness is within each of us, all creation actually.
Right.
I was looking and driving around, and as I was jogging in the park, I was looking at all the trees and the animals, and I was choosing to see the holiness there. So everything holds the holiness.
Everything.
Everything I look on, so I can look with the eyes of holiness.
Exactly.
And not the eyes of fear or conflict.
Choose then his body or his holiness as what you want to see. And which you choose to look upon. And which you choose is yours to look upon. Yet will you choose in countless situations and through time that seems to have no end until the truth be your decision. For eternity is not regained by still one more denial of the Christ in him.
So don't deny the Christ in him.
Right. And where is your salvation if he is but a body?
Right.
Where is your peace but in his holiness?
Right. So
And where is God himself but in that part of him he set forever in your brother's holiness, that you may see the truth about yourself, set forth at last in terms you recognize and understand.
your brother's holiness is sacrament, and your brother's holiness is sacrament and benediction unto you. His errors cannot withhold God's blessing from himself, nor you who see him truly. His mistakes can cause delay, which it is given you to take from him, that both may end a journey that has never begun and needs no end. What never was is not a part of you, yet you will think it is until you realize that it is not a part of him who stands beside you. He is the mirror of yourself. So everything is the mirror of ourselves, wherein you see the judgment you have laid on both of you. The Christ in you beholds his holiness. So behold the holiness in whatever we look at.
Yes.
Your specialness looks on his body and beholds him not. So if we do specialness, we just behold the body, which is...
Well, and if we hold, like, if I continue to hold my friend as someone who is always attacking me, then I will expect that, and I will receive it.
Yeah, so it's like creating that.
Working my mind and knowing that he has been given me to forgive, and to see the holiness instead of my own attack thoughts. So
and fear thoughts, you know, these are fear. There's all
the
fear.
whole fear.
Yeah.
Okay. See him as what he is, that your deliverance not belong.
So, okay, yeah. See him and then we are delivered.
A senseless wandering, without a purpose and without accomplishment of any kind, is all the other choice can offer you. Futility of function not fulfilled will haunt you while your brother lies asleep. To what has been assigned to you is done, and he is risen from the past. He who condemned himself, and you as well, is given you to save from condemnation along with you. And both shall see God's glory in his Son, whom you mistook as flesh, and bound to laws that have no power over him at all. Comes right back to us, and it's pretty scary.
Would you not gladly realize these laws are not for you? And what are the laws they're talking about? Bound to laws that have no power over him.
Keep reading, then we'll know.
Then see him not as a prisoner to them. It cannot be what governs part of God holds not for all the rest. You place yourself under the laws you see as ruling him. Think then how great the love of God for you must be, that he has given you a part of him to save from pain and give you happiness. And never doubt but that your specialness will disappear before the will of God, who loves each part of him with equal love and care. The Christ in you can see your brother truly. Would you decide against the holiness he sees? So just to see the holiness.
And keep asking until it shows up.
And that would relate to everything.
Everything.
In life, right? Even in politics.
Everything.
Everything
we
to
do
see.
not want to see anyone as evil.
Right.
We'll see it
or
in
anything in
ourselves.
conflict. So we can see the holiness in everything. In the whole political scene, in the whole world that we happen to see.
I mean, this book is written by Jesus, truly. And Jesus was beaten and dragged around and, you know, all of that. But he understood he wasn't really this body and all of that.
Yeah.
And has channeled this for us. And I know, because this is my big companion. Every day I spend lots of time here and feel happiness.
Yes.
A lot of people never feel any happiness or gratitude in the world. I am so grateful that I am grateful. Like I am grateful that I'm grateful and that I am so appreciative of this learning.
To be reminded of, to see the holiness.
And to know that when I leave my body, I'm not just dust. My spirit goes home. And I did the job that I best could do while here, following this and enjoying this and wanting this and only this. And, you know, often you feel like saying, well, fuck you too, you know? And the horse that brought you in. But the major thing is to just want to keep seeing God beyond that. And I believe there'll be like a magical time where the body will disappear. And I can see that with your son, because the pain, the first child, the pain is so big in giving birth. Right?
Yeah, it is. Discomfort, fear.
Everything.
It's playing there while the birth is going on.
You know, my birth was the first birth was so painful.
Well, he's the third.
Long.
It was
He was
painful.
the third, so it wasn't so bad.
But still, I felt pain, and fear.
Well, I would think we all do with each child, don't you?
Yeah, I always, with each child, think I'm not going to make it.
Right.
That I'm going to die. I can't do this.
I can't do this.
I can't do this. It's not possible. I say my body can't just do this.
And there it comes.
And then it comes and it happens. And it is like a miracle.
Thank God it is all a dream.
It's all a dream.
Okay.
Specialness is the function you gave yourself, that you gave yourself. It stands for you alone as self-created, self-maintained, in need of nothing, and unjoined with anything beyond the body. In his eyes, you are a separate universe, with all the power to hold itself complete within itself, with every entry shut against intrusion, and every window barred against the light, always attacked and always furious, with anger always fully justified. You have pursued this goal with vigilance you never thought to yield, and the effort that you never thought to cease. So we can let go of attack, anger, furiousness, and yield all that.
And know that everything like attack is really a call for love. The person is feeling so out of their body. Can you ever meditate with Ethan? Would he ever meditate with you?
I've asked him about meditation. I don't think we've done it yet, but I have spoken about it. But I can see if we could do it when he's in a good mood. Like today he was in a good mood.
He was.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in a good mood, and I could see.
Like if you could show him, have you gotten a chance to see Goldie Hawn's video on meditation?
No, not yet, no.
It's a fabulous when you hear what she's saying and how children...
Yeah, we could watch it together, maybe me and Ethan.
Yes, because like children go through great anxiety.
Yeah, because they think they're a body.
Right, and like for me, when I was left back in first grade, the shame that I felt. I remember coming out of the school and standing there and wishing that the whole earth would open and I could fall in and never be seen again because I was so ashamed. Everybody could do everything and I couldn't, you know? Yeah. Very, very painful. And I think now that I probably went through that because perhaps in a past life, I was smart and made fun of people who had my issues.
Who were slow for some reason.
So I had to go through what that felt like for many years. You know? That's why I would really love to start a school for children meditating and reading. Because children need to feel like when you see what she says, the children from 4 to 8 are learning, but they're so happy because they actually say, I was so upset about blah, 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 but now I know how to go to peace.
To find the peace within us, beyond the
illusion.
The illusion or the upset.
Right.
The hurt, and the
condemnation. And the wound. Every time that your son attacks you, every time that my friend attacked me, you know.
It's a wound to our body.
It's terrible. It's such a shock. Because
it's a shock. It is.
It's a big shock.
Even though it's happened so many times, I'm surprised it's still a shock.
That it continues to upset us. Right.
It's happened for like thousands of times, not just with him, but so many others.
Right.
You know, from babyhood. It's funny, it's still a shock. Huh.
Okay, do I read now?
Well, I have one more, verse 5.
Okay.
And all this grim determination was for this. You wanted specialness to be the truth. So we have to give up specialness.
Right.
Which means what? How would we describe it? What's the easy way to describe specialness?
Well, I would think, to me, specialness would be like, oh, well, I'm so special, and they're not.
Or this one is special and that one isn't.
Right.
So they're making
Yeah.
a difference, maybe making a difference, dividing creation into what is special, what isn't. And special maybe might mean good. What is not good, what is not special.
Right.
So there's a dividing of some kind. So instead of unifying,
Yeah,
making it
so
all one.
if in your mind we go each day and we ask to see everyone as special and part of God.
Yeah.
And for me, because I've been doing this so long, that's my way of being. So I have a happy day because I know that each person I meet is part of God. And
Is holy and
I
is me.
work to overlook the negative and to just want to see the child of God instead of my illusions,
Right, instead
of
of
my
my
perception. Because our perception really means nothing, because if we're in fear, we're going to see what we fear.
Right, if we're in fear and
And we're
conflict.
not even aware of it, that we are creating the reality.
Yeah, until we become aware. Till something becomes aware.
So I'm so anxious for you to meet my friend Love, because anytime that I kind of get off into another way of thinking or something, in a very nice way, she's able to show me, do you want that?
Do you want that, yeah?
Yeah, of course not. And then she'll say, stop talking about it.
Right,
You're
right.
creating more of what you're talking about, which is true. Every word we speak creates. So as you say, your son is attacking, you're creating tomorrow.
And I remember saying stuff like that even to Michael after he does his particular rant. I would say, well, do you really want this?
Yeah.
Why would you want this that you keep talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And then he would say, it's my curse. I can't stop talking about it. I'm cursed. So then he would give an excuse for his
So
view.
I understand, but our job is just to bless him. Bless him, Father, for he knows not what he does. The same as when the policeman doesn't believe me that I have insurance. Bless him, Father, for he knows not what he does. Heals instead of us judging, because, say he says, I'm cursed.
Right, that's what he
Now
says.
we
So
judge him, and
Well, we don't
Why
have
not?
to, but I'm just saying what he says. So
I
then the
understand.
next thing can be, I can see him, choose to see him as holy and innocent.
I'm being given an opportunity to not judge, be still and not judge. That paper, I think you gave it to me, I thought it was so wonderful.
I don't know which
It
one.
was something from Science of Mine, I gave it to Michael.
Oh,
Uh,
maybe it was something.
instead of judging, be still and know that God is there, something like that. So we have to heal our own mind, and it isn't an easy chore, because
So I can choose
shit
to see him
happens.
as holy and perfect.
Right.
And then I could even say it if I want to.
Well,
you are
could say
holy.
you're the holy child of
You're the
God.
holy child of God.
Right.
You
And
are holy
you
and
could
perfect.
see this differently if you wanted.
Yeah. You can see this differently if you want to. You can have a happy dream.
Right.
You can choose a happy dream.
Like when I'm working with Michael, because he likes to talk a lot. You know?
Right. He likes to continue.
But then I remember what it says in here, that attention to your brother or something is a gift to yourself, and your brother's holiness is all you want to see. So I can see that my impatience is my ego, that this person needs to be heard,
Right.
and God sent me here to listen
To listen to the
to whatever.
fear dream, whatever, the dream of fear.
because when a dream is shared,
Mm.
right, and brought to holiness,
Yeah.
things get healed.
So bring it to holiness, the dream, while he's telling you the dream, his nightmare,
Right.
and just bring it to holiness. And what I find interesting is that he's such a strong case of it, such an extreme case. It's like a good testing ground to be able to like really apply this to like the most extreme case.
As your son is,
Right, right,
and as my friend was.
yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. My friend is gone, and now I have Michael.
I know.
We always have it, I guess, while we're in the body.
So it's like another example to test
And
us and
am
to
I
say, okay,
willing
can I
to
see
see-
holiness here
yes,
in this particular extreme case? Now it became like, it's like each case to me becomes bigger and bigger almost. Okay, can you see it now in this one? It's a really big elephant in the room.
yeah,
He's spouting things that are even more extreme than the
Right.
previous one.
exactly.
And
I
then,
had a call today from a woman that I've had a lot of difficulties with, and of course she was going on and on. And I finally just said, "You are the holy child of God."
did you say it?
Oh, I said it. Yes. I got to get off this phone.
But if we say that, what happens? Do they get off the phone and stop
Well,
talking?
I stopped. I said, "You're the holy child of God. I see only good in you. I want to see Christ in you." Blah 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 blah. I gotta go, and I hung up.